And welcome to my channel. Today is the first in what I hope to be a series called Friday Fragrance Fun. I'm sure it's been done before, but for the purposes of this channel, it's the first time and we're gonna have fun with it. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about Jo Malone. As a house, it's one of the largest parts of my collection, and I know there's a little bit of controversy surrounding the brand, the house, so I wanted to kind of go over that with you and talk to you about some of the ways that you can remedy some of the common issues that are associated frequently with the house of Jo Malone. But first, I wanted to thank all of you who are new to my channel, who maybe joined because we met in a stream or one of the other awesome places that I've recently become acquainted with having to do with the fragrance community. And I welcome you, and I welcome your opinions and your advice and all the things that go into making a decent fragrance channel worth watching. So with that being said, I wanted to go ahead and get on into the Jo Malone stuff. So my very first Jo Malone fragrance happened upon me when I was browsing Nordstrom one time during an anniversary sale. This was quite a few years ago. There was a 6.7 ounce bottle. The girl at the counter was really trying to push me into it, and I thought that's a really big commitment, a 6.7 ounce bottle. And then I ended up smelling it, and I fell in love with Peony and Blush Suede. Now, this was strange for me because I don't really like leather and suede notes, but I like them in conjunction with a really big white pink floral type thing like Peony. So I love Peony and Blush Suede. It's one of my favorite perfumes in my entire collection. And it took me a little while to learn how to wear Jo Malone fragrances. So Peony and Blush Suede is one of those that requires a little bit of fancy footwork if you don't want to be overpowering, or if you want to either warm it up or cool it off a little bit, which is a possibility with all Jo Malone fragrances. And if you know anything about the house, you know that mixology is one of the hallmarks of the brand. The idea that all the fragrances are basically mixable with each other and can be used to complement each other in a variety of ways. So for example, a warmer fragrance like Pomegranate Noir can be used to increase the depth and the richness of maybe a lighter fragrance like Frangipani Blossom, or Frangipani Flower, my bad, sorry. So I have worn a variety of combinations. Today I happen to be wearing one that I've actually never worn before, despite the fact that I've had both of these in my collection for a while. I'm wearing Frangipani Flower and Nectarine Blossom and Honey, both of which I think are really well suited to each other and really go well for the summer months. It's very warm and humid where I live right now, and so I'm not looking for something too heavy. But with that being said, I know a lot of people who feel like Jo Malone fragrances are not that great with the longevity, and I am inclined to agree with them on that. But the purpose of this video today is to give you some ideas that you can use to help increase the longevity of your fragrances, increase the sillage, how it wears on you, how you wear it, all these other great things that are involved in wearing fragrance. Now, most of us, I think, wear fragrance for ourselves, which is how it should be, but it's also nice when people smell you a little bit, not obnoxiously, but a little bit. So let's get started. One of the ways that I like to increase the wearability and the longevity of my Jo Malone fragrances is to layer. And layering is so important with this brand, this house, if you will. And knowing how to layer that fragrance is going to help you get the most wearability out of it. So Jo Malone products usually come in a variety of forms. They'll either be a body wash, a scrub, a lotion, a body cream, and then the fragrance itself. And the fragrances come in sizes of 100 milliliters and 50 milliliters. So if you're not ready to commit, you can get a smaller bottle. I have several over there that I really didn't know if I would like or not, so they are in smaller bottles. So some of those are like hemlock and bergamot, even though I really like hemlock or bergamot, I wasn't sure about the hemlock. So, you know, I just like to kind of tiptoe around some of them until I know I like them, and I will wear them with other fragrances to make sure that they're wearable with other fragrances, and then I go from there. A good tip when buying Jo Malone fragrances is, yeah, they have them at Nordstrom and some other high-end retailers, but they also have them at cosmetics company stores. So if you have a cosmetics company store near you, I strongly suggest that you try going to one of those, because I've gotten a decent chunk of my collection from a cosmetics company store up near where my parents live, and I've gotten some fantastic deals. In fact, I just bought a full-size body wash of Mimosa and Cardamom, which is a fragrance that I'm okay with. It's not my favorite, but I certainly wear it in the wintertime. So when when I'm kind of like about a fragrance and I don't know how much money I want to spend, I hope that it's going to be at the cosmetics company store. And in this case, I ended up getting a bottle of mimosa and cardamom body wash for about 50% off of what it was marked, which was $42. So I paid $21 for a bottle of body wash, which is a great deal for Jo Malone product. So let's get started. I actually just lost the top of my body wash here, so I was playing with it and then it came off. I think so anyway, so this is the body wash of Peony and Blush Suede. Jo Malone body washes are really good. If you use them, when you use them, you'll discover that they actually linger. The scent lingers in your bathroom for quite a while after you use them. So they're a really good natural house fragrance as well. But the good news about Jo Malone body wash is that because they definitely are well scented, they linger on your skin for a while. So even if you were to forget to layer with lotion or spray, you'd probably still smell good for a decent amount of time. So that's step one in layering Jo Malone fragrances. The next step, of course, is the lotion. This is the hand and body lotion of Peony and Blush Suede as well. So if I really like a fragrance, I will keep the lotion, the body wash, and the spray of it handy. So I do that for a couple of my favorites, like Tuberose Angelica and Peony and Blush Suede, and also English Pear and Freesia. So another thing I like about this is that I will sometimes also keep a bottle of the hand and body wash as a soap as well, like a hand soap. I wear that a lot. I keep it in my kitchen, so I'll use it in the shower, and then throughout the day, I'll be getting the scent kind of renewal every time I wash my hands, which, as we know these days, we're doing quite a bit. I will also keep a bottle of this like in my office when I'm working and that kind of thing. Right now, my office is my desk at home, so there's that. But like a lot of other people, actually, and I think quarantine has been tough on a lot of people, but for those of us who love fragrance, it's also a really good opportunity to try out fragrances that maybe we wouldn't take into daylight until we knew. So I've been doing that a lot too, which is I've been trying out a lot of combinations that I wouldn't normally either try or feel comfortable wearing just at first blush, like to the office or something. So in addition to the lotion, I wanted to also show you the cream. So the cream is something that I actually use more in the wintertime because it's definitely thicker in consistency and more moisturizing. So I don't want anything too heavy in the wintertime. So I will wear this in the wintertime. Now, really quick before we call it a day today, I wanted to kind of go over some of my favorite fragrances. You already know that I really like Peony and Blush Suede. I think I mentioned that I like English Pear and Freesia, which is a classic. It's super light and floral and fruity at the same time. Although, funny story, my parents traveled internationally a while ago, and I gave my mom a sample of English Pear and Freesia because she was going to be flying overnight and didn't want to smell like an airplane when she got off the plane in Europe. So I gave her a sample of English Pear and Freesia, and she thought it was very strong and didn't like it at all. So different noses, different opinions, So another one that I just recently acquired, which is kind of a unicorn in the Jo Malone world, is Blue Agave and Cacao. A lot of people really like it. It smells really good. I blind bought it on the opinions of a lot of other people, and I was not disappointed. This fragrance you've just got the warmth and the depth of that cocoa, but it's also got the sweetness of the agave, and it's not overpowering at all. Like, it's a really great fragrance to layer with maybe something a little bit lighter and to kind of mix it up a little bit to have like a medium consistency fragrance. So talking about mixology really quick, I don't really feel like any particular Jo Malone fragrance is that seasonal. Like some people, we have fragrances that we will only wear in certain times of the year, but with Jo Malone, any fragrance can be made seasonal for any season, basically. For example, Mimosa and Cardamom is a fragrance that I would wear alone in the wintertime because it's warmer, it's heavier, it's definitely stronger, but I could pull off wearing this in the spring or summer with something lighter, like let's say that I mixed it with Nectarine Blossom and Honey, or maybe even Plum Blossom, which is also a lighter fragrance, like definitely more of a lighter floral fragrance. So the spiciness and the warmth of the Mimosa and Cardamom can easily be counteracted or mixed and complemented with maybe a lighter floral. So that's another thing that I really like about Jo Malone, is that I don't really think that there are fragrances that are set for seasons. So you could take a Pomegranate Noir, which is definitely like on its own a colder weather fragrance and mix it with something lighter and lighten it up a little bit, and it would be totally appropriate for the summertime. That's also another way that you increase the longevity of your fragrances in the Jo Malone line, is by mixing them with others. So a lot of times I was wearing Blackberry and Bay earlier before I showered by itself, and I turned into a skin scent very quickly, and I was disappointed with it. But then I layered it with another fragrance, I can't even remember what it was, maybe English Pear and Freesia, and I could smell the enduring part of that fragrance for much longer. So the fragrances tend to bring the best out in each other and make them really like a pretty versatile line. So I do know that Jo Malone, gets a bad rap occasionally, but I've always really appreciated it as a house, and I wanted to kind of share some of that with you today. I'd love to hear your opinions on Jo Malone as a house, and also any ideas that you have for me to make future topics for my Friday fragrance fun segments. I'm going to try to make videos throughout the week, but I can't guarantee that'll happen because of my schedule. But definitely, I promise you that I will try my best to post every Friday, and I would love your input into what you find interesting. If you can see my collection back here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you have any questions about what I have, I'd be happy to answer them and then do a video if there are any fragrances that you want to know more about. Because I do have a lot of fragrances in my collection that I find that a lot of people in the community aren't really talking about. So I would kind of love to share that with you and help you understand better some of the fragrances that maybe you're not as exposed to. So thank you for watching me today. I hope everybody has a fun, restful, relaxing, safe, and healthy weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Toodles!